Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Bolo Bravo Sierra, and I apologize from the situation. I am traveling out of town. Welcome to the channel. We're gonna do something great. We're gonna go over the best stranded survivor combination. Now, this is the best four that you should use to be the most successful in surviving an alien planet. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on. Make sure you like the video, comment down below. Let's get into it, and hopefully we won't have any audio issues because, like I said, I'm in a hotel. That being said, make sure you're subscribed. I plan on doing a lot more content when it comes to survival or stranded Alien Dawn. Let's get into it. Let's explain all the characters and their attributes, and then we'll go over the top four to use as the meta survival combination to get you a dub in this game and to be successful in building. So, once again, subscribe, turn your notifications on. Let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to go over, and I want to make sure before we get started that you guys can hear me. Hopefully that's the case. I'm double checking right now. We're going to go over each survivor. Apologize for butchering any names. I'll do my best, and we'll go from there. So once again, this is Stranded Alien Dawn. It's a new game, just came out October 12th. That being said, let's dive into the actual game audio. Hopefully you guys and girls can hear me. Annette, obviously Annette 62. Some of her attributes. Alright, so obviously you guys can hear me. Annette 62. It seems to me that she has a strong cooking ability and not much else. I would not say that she is going to be the meta. Carter, he's 70 years old. He's got some construction experience, cooking experience, lacks zero in farming. Not going to be the meta. Connor has a very strong combat, and he's very physical, so he can do a lot of physical activity. I'd say one of the things that I noticed with Connor is he's not very happy, and he gets depressed very easily. He is not going to be the meta. Daniel, 65, no combat experience, but he's highly intelligent out of the group. So I would say that he would help do the research and stuff, but he is definitely not the meta as well. Edmund, 45 years old, gets hungry 25% quicker than everybody else. Rests twice as fast. He relaxes by writing short stories that inspire others when he reads. He's kind of a well-balanced individual, but he is not the meta. He's also the son of Carter, the one we went over earlier. This is going to be a meta. Her cooking ability, Emlyn's exquisite cooking trait provides a solid happiness boost every time a survivor eats. So this is actually a plus. She's highly efficient in cooking, which thus helps the other survivors in their happiness every time she cooks. So she is definitely going to make it to the top of the chart. She is definitely a meta. Make sure you have her in your lineup. Alright, Jayla. Jayla is 21 years old. Pretty balanced as far as she's not very strong in any of the attributes. Construction, she's zero. Physical attributes, she does have a little bit higher trait. She makes others happy when playing music, so this could help. Could be a possibility, but I think I'm going to pass and go on to Grayson. So Grayson, 51 years old. One of the things about Grayson is his crafting ability. He has a very strong crafting ability and construction ability. His weakness, though, I would say, is going to be he's a slowpoke. But the positive about him being a slowpoke and the attributes and traits that he has currently is going to be the construction and crafting, which does not require moving around very much he's pretty much in a confined area. I will say he's 4 times work speed when crafting and constructing stuff with wood. So he's awesome crafter, and you're going to need him for the construction of the project. So guess what? He is definitely going to be in the lineup. Han, 45 years old, pretty evenly balanced on the low end when it comes to his traits. Has 25% chance to deal kill shot while hunting every prey, so he's a good hunter. Entertainment junkie, needs to relax twice as often, so he's kind of lazy. Needs to be entertained to stay happy. He is not going to make it on the list. Jack, he's got extremely high competence when it comes to combat. Construction's okay, cooking's okay, crafting's nil, farming is nil, healing is 2, intellect is 3, and physical is 5. Occasionally improves the combat skill of others, so he's able to train the other ones. I would say he is a possibility as far as having that one person on your team that is a combat-ready individual to help for any attacks from aliens. So he is a maybe, so let's have him on the side. If you want to switch him up, I will give you his alternative, the one that I believe is the true meta and should make the list in a few minutes. But if you wanted to switch it up, he would be an alternative for your combat person. You want to have somebody that can cook, craft, construct, combat, and heal. Those are going to be your main traits that you want to have, and the combination is crucial for the successful survival of your stranded individuals. That being said, Kana. Kana is 25, half-sister of Ken. So Ken is obviously right here. They're related to each other. She has a very good crafting ability. Her construction ability is not as strong as Grayson. I'd say that Grayson has a well-balanced construction and crafting. We can go back to Grayson real quick so you can see they're not very high, but he has a very strong ability. The good thing about him is he's 4 times work speed of crafting and constructing. She relaxes by writing short stories and inspires others when read. Refuses to eat meat, so she's a vegetarian. So you will basically be feeding her the vegetable soup and the game and the fruits. Katina, like I said, I'm gonna butcher this. Katina, okay. She has good healing ability. She's gonna be an alternative for Inland. So if you wanted to switch her out, that would probably be okay. The benefit from her is she's permanently increased happiness. So she's always happy. You don't have to worry about her mood, unlike Katana, who when you play using her, she's a very emotional individual and gets down and out pretty quickly. She does have a strong healing ability, just like Emlyn, so that could be an alternative, just like the combat. Now, combat. So if you got your alternatives for Emlyn and Katana, Tina, whatever. Anyway, you have your alternatives for them. Ken is very strong in combat. He is similar to Jack. I would say that the greatest benefit out of all of these survivors is his ability to go get scrap metal from salvages. This is by far probably one of his best attributes and contributing to the success of your whole group. It's him being able to get scrap and be a good combat individual. So he fills those 2 voids there, being able to get scrap metal and also get the combat classification filled as well. Alright, so he is going to make it a list. So then it's going to leave one more person in there. One more person. Who's that one person going to be? We'll go through the list, and once we get that individual, I will let you know. And we'll go over the attributes of the rest as well. Krista. Let's see. Krista. Now, with Krista, she is no crafting ability whatsoever. So you're not going to get much out of her when it comes to that. Nothing out of combat. Barely anything out of construction. Cooking's okay. Farming, yes, it's a okay. Healing, 0. Physical, 0. Her strongest attribute out of the entire group, I would have to say, is her intellect. She can research quickly, but that's it. So it's not as well balanced as the others, so she's not going to make the list. Laura's 36 years old. She has a very good farming ability out of the whole group. She's the daughter of Annette. But she doesn't have very strong attributes when it comes to the rest of them. She seems well balanced on the low end. No combat experience whatsoever. 0 healing, but her farming is good. She has 25% movement and manipulation efficiency, but she doesn't meet the category that I'm looking for, and I'm looking for a very strong healer. So the last category, because we've already filled the crafting and construction, the scrap and combat, and also the food, which is cooking, which her ability is to increase happiness. So Those 3 categories have been filled. Last but not least, we need a healer. You got to have somebody that can heal the group when they get hurt. Is that Makai? Let's see. Combat 0, construction low end, cooking low end, crafting low end, farming is good. It's similar to Laura. Healing is good. It's a 5, so that's a questionable. Could make it to the last list. Let's see. As a matter of fact, let's hold off and go over all of them, and then we'll see if she's going to be the number 4 survivor to make the list. All right. Let's see. Norris. He is no combat experience, so we don't need that filled anyway. Construction low, cooking low, crafting low, farming low, healing low, intellect low, and physical. So he's not going to fit much of any of the molds when it comes to this classic meta loadout of individuals. So Nova is a 29-year-old. She's the cousin of Xander. 0 construction, has good combat. Very good combat, but not as good as Ken. Can't experience meltdowns or euphoria, so she stays pretty pleasant throughout. Will not do research or observation tasks, so that's going to be hurting you because you've got to get those observations done early on in the game. Crafting is a 2, farming 0, healing's a 5, so yes, no, maybe, kind of, but I think her negative attributes is obviously going to be the research and observation task. Observation task is going to make her a no. Paulette, 37 years old. No combat, no construction. Cooking is okay, but we've already got cooking filled. Farming is a 1, healing's a 1, intellect's a 2, and physical is 0. Definitely not making the list. Let's move on. Quinn. Quinn is 33 years old. Has permanently increased happiness. Is similar to Emlyn, so you want to keep those type individuals in there, but he has 0 healing ability, so he's not going to make that. Loves going on expeditions. Expeditions take less time, so he has the ability to take those hot air balloons and go check out other areas super fast. So you want to probably look at him for your expeditions if you plan on doing those quite a lot, and want to do it in a fast, expedient time. His intellect's a 3, his physical's a 3, he has 0 healing and farming, so he's not going to make the list either because we're looking for a strong healer. Raka Chad. Alright, 0 combat. Cooking, or construction, he has a 5, which is good. Cooking's a 2, crafting's a 2, farming 0, healing 0, intellect is a 3, and physical is a 2. So, you get a strong out of Grayson, you're going to get a strong crafting and construction, or at least a middle of the field. One of his benefits, though, is he has 4 time when crafting and constructing stuff with wood, so he's faster than the rest of the group. Rita is 29 years old, cousins of Raka. Has permanently increased happiness, that's good. Has a chance to field observe unknown species during expeditions. Combat's a 3, construction 0, construction 1, or cooking 1, crafting 1. Farming is a 6, healing's a 2, intellect a 3, and physical a 1. Pretty well balanced person. If you want a lot of farming going on, this is probably going to be one of your top of the list. But we're not looking for that for the meta loadout of individuals. Samantha has good combat, not great. Construction is a 1, not good. Cooking's a 0, crafting's a 2, farming's 0, healing is a 2, intellect's a 6, which is good for researching. Physical's a 1. 3 times work when constructing devices or furniture, so she would probably be a late game individual if you had her on your team. We're looking for a good start and for survival, not a late game, so this individual would not be beneficial until later on, which unfortunately you got to start out with people that are going to get you on a good foot right off the rip. So Simon, let's see, Simon, do you think he's going to be it? 33, he's a corporate spy. Combat's a 2, construction's a 0, cooking's a 2, crafting's a 2, farming's 0, healing's 1, intellect's 5, and physical. Bleeding is prematurely decreased by 5 per hour, so he can, when he gets hurt, he doesn't die as quickly. He's 100% health, recovers health twice as fast. That's good. Movement speed's increased by 25%, so he's going to give you some more movement speed. He is a viable person to possibly replace your Slowpoke Grayson, but I would say that he would not have the ability for construction and crafting that Grayson has, and the 25% increase that Grayson gives you. Talos. Alright, Talos is 41 years old. Combat's a 3, construction's a 1, cooking 0, crafting 2, farming's a 0, healing's a 2, intellect's a 5, and physical is a 3. He gets hungry 25% faster, so he's going to consume more food. I don't know if that's a good thing if you're all trying to ration food. Plus 100 on recovery health, twice as fast. That's good if he's in combat, but he has a low combat skill, so he will get hurt. Has 25% more movement speed and manipulation efficiency. Not going to make the top of the list. And forgive me for this name, but Imar. I don't like the fact that he is the son of Ivan. No, that has nothing to do with it. Anyway, has increased in manipulation efficiency, happiness while inside, which are decreased outside. So when he goes outside, he gets sad. Guess what? You're surviving. You're outside. So this guy is going to be pretty much sad a lot. His combat's only a 1. Construction's only a 1. Cooking's a 3. Crafting's a 2. Farming's a 0. Healing's a 1. Intellect's a 6. He can do research pretty quickly. But I think there's other valuable options out there that can do the intellectual research part, but also give you other attributes that are beneficial, because this one has 0 on physical, so he's not going to do anything very long without getting tired. Vanessa's 46, can't fail a medical treatment, makes others happy when playing music, recovers health twice slow. Wife of Grayson, so they're married here. That's odd. Let's go into that. Her marriage is a convenience to Grayson, affords Vanessa for far greater opportunities than she could ever have back home. But home is where her heart is, and despite fearing that she might not be granted re-entry upon receiving news of her father falling ill, Vanessa impulsively booked a ticket to go and help. Alright, combat 0, construction 0, cooking is a 1, crafting is a 1, farming is a 0, healing is a 5, intellect is a 2, and physical is a 1. She is possibly that one person that we need here. So we've got this candidate, Nova, and then we have Vanessa. Let's see, which ones are the 2 here? Best healings, cooking, combat. I'd say it's going to be a toss-up between Nova and Vanessa as far as healing, but let's continue. Vivian is 65 years old, 4 times work speed when crafting stuff from fabrics or leather, so it's only furniture. Can't perform healing tasks, so you're going to be up that creek if you don't have any of your other healers on board. This one's not going to be able to help. Combat 0, construction 0, cooking's 2, crafting's 1, farming is 1, will not heal, intellect's 2, and physical. Nope, not making the list. Yoko, let's see. Isn't this a member or the married to one of the Beatles? Yoko, I think, maybe. Da-dum-dum. Alright, 0 combat, construction 0, cooking 3, crafting 4, farming 1, healing 4, intellect 2, physical 0. Grandmother of Ken. So Ken is our combat guy. This is his grandmother. I would say she's probably not going to make the list, but her crafting teacher occasionally improves the crafting skill of others around. So you could combine her with somebody that's not as strong in crafting, but strong in other attributes. Gains happiness when killing or observing death. That seems a little odd. That's kind of like Ken's little fetish here. So Ken has the same thing, gains happiness when killing or observing death. So anytime he's in a battle, he likes it. So does she. Unless the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Xander, let's see what Xander's attributes are. Gains happiness while awake. He's 34 years old. Has permanently decreased happiness, which means he's always in a bad mood, which is going to be a problem for the motivation and encouragement of the rest of the group. His combat's a 3, his construction 0, cooking 1, crafting a 2, farming's a 3, healing's a 2, intellect's a 1, and physical is 2. That being said, who is it going to be? I'm going with Vanessa. So this is your top 4 meta loadout as far as survivors go on Stranded Alien Dawn. Let's see. If you thought it would probably have been somebody else or a different group, like I said, there's other combinations you could use to be more successful on having a loadout that is somewhat comparable, but you want to make sure you have the health, you have the combat, you have the crafting, you have the construction, you have the scavenging. Those are going to be some of your main attributes you're going to need for the traits in order to be successful on Stranded Alien Dawn. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, hit the like and comment down below. I'm Bolo Bravo Sierra, and I'm out.